Yo guys, Fetch here, welcome back to another video, and today is a little bit of a weird video because as you can see by the title, I am going to be doing a reaction, well I say kind of reaction, to the new Three Lions It's Coming Home for Christmas song that released literally a few hours ago as I'm recording this video. Now I did say how it was going to be a reaction, but I'm not actually going to be doing a reaction to the song. I'm going to be giving kind of like my review and the reaction that I had as I was watching the new song, because if I actually played the song on the stream or on video, sorry, then I would get copyrighted and probably sued by Lightning Seeds. So we're going to avoid that, and I'm just going to tell you how I thought the song actually finally turned out. So firstly, I must say I really enjoyed the soundtrack. I think it works really well with the sort of like Christmassy twist on it, with, you know, like the Christmas bells and, you know, like the you know, I think it actually added like another element to the song, you know, emphasizing that it is a Christmas song, sort of, plus it's to do with the original It's Coming Home song as well. I also really love how they use some of the original like clips from the 1996 music video, like the shot with the TV and then all of them on the red sofa from, you know, like the talk show that they used to do. And then mixing that with the artists as they are now, you know, with Ian, David and Frank, you know, all of them, you know, as they are now. I think it actually works really well, and, you know, props to, you know, Lightning Seeds for, you know, doing it that way, because, you know, well, I'm pretty sure they were like shot in front of a, you know, in front of like a green screen, and then they were like, you know, edited into the final thing. And I think what actually happened is I think they used some like scenes that were actually shot for the proper music video back in 1996 but didn't make it, but then actually used it in this video, I think, because I was looking at a few scenes in there and I was trying to think, you know, did they actually use that in the original? And then I looked at the original, I was just like, hold on, they didn't actually use that scene. So I'm suggesting that either they made a completely new shot from scratch, or like CGI, or they actually took that shot back in 1996 and didn't use it for the final video and then actually just saved it, I guess, somewhere for this one. So I really like that. And I think with that being said, we should talk about the lyrics, because the lyrics I think are actually quite hilarious. You know, some of the, you know, like twists in there as well, you know, when they're singing, you know, like we're all having a beer or whatever the line was, and then, you know, Frank goes, actually I won't because I have alcohol issues. I thought that was actually, you know, quite like a funny twist. And then, you know, like the 56 years of hurt, and then you know, someone goes for the men's game, and I'm just like, wow. Because obviously the Lionesses, you know, won it back, you know, last year, literally. Was it last year or was it this summer? I actually got, no, this summer, 2022. I've forgotten that, you know, last year was actually the men's Euros, because, you know, all of the COVID and pandemic things, you know, obviously pushed it back. So yeah, it was actually this year that, you know, the Lionesses won it. And yeah, it was just funny how they just used, you know, some of the twists in there, you know, with the lyrics, and I thought it was, you know, like really funny. I also like the scene where Frank like takes like a bit of like Christmas pudding, like puts it into like, I don't know, some like custard or whatever it was, and then you know, like brought it out, and I think it was like supposed to like symphonize like the World Cup or something. I thought that was a pretty cool shot thing as well, and I actually never thought of, you know, getting a Christmas pudding, dipping your hand into some custard and then lifting it up and it looks like the World Cup. I didn't actually realize that. I also like as well at the end how they were like hearing the Christmas chants from outside, you know, like the "It's coming home for Christmas, football's coming home." I like how when they went to open the door and there was like, you know, like an entire like football community there, and, you know, like they invited them into the home to like, you know, like have a party, because that is essentially what the World Cup is all about, you know, like all getting together, you know, celebrating, you know, as a sort of like union, you know, cheering on a team, and obviously in this case is England. I really like how they like emphasize that fact that, you know, it is, you know, supposed to be like a celebration and, you know, like time for, you know, like being happy, you know, with your team, you know, in the World Cup, and obviously you supporting them. So what did I actually think when I was actually watching the video? Because I've just gone through, you know, you know, the sort of things that I, you know, like fully remember in the music video, because when I was watching it, obviously it came out literally as I was just waking up. Like literally I just woke up and then saw it. So, you know, obviously I did my normal, you know, things what I do in the morning, and then I obviously listened to it and I was just like, what? Because obviously when you're half asleep, you know, you barely recognize anything. So, you know, now that I've had the time to, you know, like actually fully listen to it, you know, actually hearing, you know, the actual soundtrack, you know, like in my headphones, you know, it's a really cool song. You know, as I said, I think it, you know, works really well for both, you know, like an annual, you know, like World Cup thing, and obviously the normal thing. Now, obviously, the next World Cup, it'll probably be a bit irrelevant because, you know, the next World Cup won't be, you know, in like leading up to Christmas. They, you know, this is the only reason why they did, you know, this version of the soundtrack is because the World Cup in Qatar this year is obviously on the lead up to Christmas. You know, this is just a one-off one. So obviously props to Lightning Seeds for, you know, like doing that, and, you know, obviously, you know, putting a lot of effort into it because, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, actually editing that final music video is actually quite a lot, you know, quite a lot of work for them. So my initial reaction, as I said, it wasn't really anything because I was still half asleep. I mean, I was hearing a few of the jokes that they were doing in there, and, you know, like I was, you know, kind of laughing to it because, you know, it is funny. I mean, even when you're half asleep and you hear a joke, you know, trying to, you know, not laugh is kind of impossible. You know, you will laugh at sorts, you know, some sort of stuff. So I did hear some of the jokes literally as I heard it the first time, but then the second one, I was hearing all of the jokes and I was just like, wow. And again, it's just such an iconic song as well, you know, like the just repetitive, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. You know, obviously that's iconic, you know, that's never going to go away. And, you know, just changing it up a little bit to, you know, being it's coming home for Christmas, football's coming home. I really like that. And I actually really liked how they used some clips of, you know, like the Lionesses winning it as well, like at the start when they were doing the interview with the Lionesses manager, you know, and then obviously the Lionesses then came into, you know, be singing the thing. I thought that was a really cool clip to add, and, you know, obviously adding the actual like Lionesses footage onto the TV that usually showed the other World Cup, you know, footage from the original video. I thought that was a really cool thing to do as well. So in all, I think it's a really cool song. I will be singing it all throughout, you know, the World Cup thing, literally happening in 2 days as well. Starting off with Qatar versus Ecuador, and I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be some sort of, you know, like opening ceremony for the World Cup as well. And obviously I'm gonna be supporting England, and we actually have our first game literally the next day on Monday at 1 PM, so I will be watching that. And I hope that the World Cup actually realize this song and actually, you know, maybe, well, not really the World Cup itself, but, you know, like maybe like play like a version of it, you know, when England score or something like that, so then like the fans can, you know, like sing it in the stadium. I don't really know. You know, it's a really cool song, and obviously the normal one is, you know, really used for the World Cup, and I think this one just adds, you know, something different because, you know, it is twisted to being, you know, Christmas themed as well as, you know, obviously the World Cup, as I said many times, is, you know, on the lead up to Christmas. So I really hope that, you know, people can, you know, like acknowledge the song, because I honestly think it's probably better than the original, if I'm going to be honest, because I just like the beat and the like actually soundtrack, as I said at the start. I think it works really well as, you know, like a reunion, you know, sort of song. Obviously, you know, the first one, you know, it's iconic, you know, nothing's, you know, you can't really destroy it. But obviously the second one, to me, I actually felt it was a lot better than the first one. But do let me know what you think in the comment section below of the new song. Obviously, I'll leave links in the description to it if you haven't yet heard of it. So make sure you go ahead and check it out in the description below. Also, let me know in the comment section below who you are supporting for the World Cup. Obviously, I am from England, so I'm going to be supporting them. So that is going to be it for today's video. Sorry, this is a little bit all over the place, but obviously I didn't really have time to, you know, like fully plan this. I just wanted to say what was on my head after watching the video. Obviously, you guys can go ahead and view it using the link in the description below. So I would like to thank you for watching the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, take care and peace out.